Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Montagne est à Moumoué, ça va bien faire moins d'y croire. Mais là, l'aucun yo. Quand on soit du roi, allez, envoyez, attire le roi. Et là-haut, avec la l'aucun yo, nous vivons de bail, nous vivons de bas, Martis mon pays yo. Malgré Didi, moi je peux jamais forcer. Si tu connais, tu connais. L'animateur Choco, Nostal, Yassin, de Toyebi. L'homme a tout fait pour Mivito. Aniché les deux.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights. And also, it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in a country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption, and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Good evening, folks. Samson to Liberia Public Radio. We're here again this evening. We're doing our best. We say thank you for joining. Those of you that have been wondering when we were coming back on, we had some technical issue in the last 2 days or so, and so things are a little bit difficult on coming on. But I know you understand that we come on here whenever the opportunity is there. We will come, and you and us are gonna have a conversation. And we really, really appreciate those of you that was calling and asking questions. It means you care, and even if you didn't call, you still care. We appreciate it, and we say welcome to you again. And we will do our best to always do whatever we have to do as the community, so that we will be able to have some wonderful conversation as well. Sometimes we will be ridiculous, and sometimes we will say something that will hurt some of your head. And some people say my hair hurting tonight. They're liberal, you're not doing anything for me tonight. But that's okay. That's okay. But thanks for watching anyhow. And we will do the best we can to make sure we all have the best from LPR. Safety, Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again for this wonderful day. My Lord, we want to thank you for all of the blessing that you have provided, continue to provide. My Lord, thank you for the protection. Whenever we leave in the morning, you're there. Whenever we go to bed, you're there. My Lord, guiding us through our sleep, making us to wake up in the morning and going back to bed. My Lord, because of you, we are here. Thank you. My God, you are just wonderful. You are just wonderful. Those of the people that don't know this God, please come to God. He is there. He's our God, all of us. And he has been doing some wonderful job. Just imagine you get up in the morning. God wake you up. You go to work, you come home, God guides you. Look at the amount of traffic that you go through every day. Oh my God, it's just wonderful. We want to thank you. We want to thank you. We want to thank you and proclaim that you indeed is the everlasting light to whom we there for the warmth. When it's cold, your light come and shine on us and warm up us. When it's hot, your lights come and cool off that. Oh my God, you're everywhere. Thank you. Thank you for that ability. My Lord, we ask again that you continue to bless the people of the Republic of Liberia. Thank you for the safe traveling of our president, the president, Joseph Boakai, the father of the nation. He has done a wonderful stuff and continue to do wonderful stuff. And we know that things are not going to be that easy anyway. He knows that. But the fact that he was able to put out his hand among 5-point-something million people and say, I will lead you. We want to thank God. And we ask God for blessing on his life. We ask God to continue to pour on him all of the blessing that he can bestow on the older person. My God, we ask you to protect him. We ask you to be there for him. We ask you to give him wisdom to do what is good for our people. We ask that all of the leaders of the Republic of Liberia, that you bless them. My God, we ask that you bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, folks. As you know, the president is here in the United States. I'm not going to go into the other tabata because that's not that important. Whatever he's here for, we pray to God that he will be successful, because if he's successful, Liberia is successful. And we ask that God will guide him and let him be successful, whatever it is that he wants to do for us. My own Tabataya, what I'm still, folks, the panelists have sent the information out already. So if you can, if you get that, please join us here at LPR. So let me talk my little Tabata. My people, I'm still waiting. I will be contacting the young man at the Ministry of Public Works. Hopefully next week or so, he will be able to join me. I promise I'm not going to discuss any of the public work involvement into the roadway issue until I have the opportunity to talk to him live. And then he and I are going to have a discussion. Now, if he doesn't come up, I will call him again. We have a specific time this week I'm supposed to call. And if I call and don't get him, then I will try to go on with the show as well. Because these young people, when you say you're going to do something, you do it. That's how you gain your respect. I told him when I was going to call him, I will find all means possible to call him. If I reach him, fine. If not, I would text him, tell him that I did call, and I kept on my end of the bargain, because that's how you gain respect from fellow human beings, not just the young people, fellow human beings. The young people, as far as I'm concerned, you respect them, they respect you back. You don't respect them. What age got to do with respect? Every one of us want to be respected. And if you're going to disrespect somebody because he's 2-year-old, doesn't peep on you. Samson, y'all see what's going on? It's not going to be easy today. It's not going to be easy. The leper is here. They're 2 years old. 2 years old disrespecting 2 years. If you disrespect 2-year-old, you get your own coming. But on a very serious note, folks, Samson told Liberian Public Radio, we're here again. We thank God for this wonderful, wonderful life. So my own Tabata here tonight, just within the last 3-4 months, whatever time the president been in office and his government, I think. Now, let me be careful here as I make this pronouncement this evening. I think this president will be successful. But here's what I believe going to happen. You know, in my engineering, I did engineering for 5 years or so. But the 5 years that I was in the engineering class, I was the only African, they call the African, I call it total. I was the only total man, African American in that hole for 5 years straight. But I stood my ground. The young people, this was in Youngstown, Ohio. Now, if you know the politics of Ohio, Youngstown, Mahoney County, is one of the ridiculous, conservative, worse than that. Ku Klux Klan, because I went to some place and they have KKK all over the building. I saw it. So they're worse. But these young people that I was in school with, they were just terrible, terrible. So I decided, I don't have a father that will, before my dad and mine came, but at that time I have nobody except my wife and 2 kids. So my other boy, who is now an older man, he was still in Liberia at the time. And I said, okay, how do I approach these people? I don't want to fight with anybody. Of course, I could fight. At that time, I was still young. I could fight. But the idea that came to me was, if you fight, they would think to do this all of the time. So the best thing you can do to crack them is to get better grades than all combined. And I started putting my feet in a bucket. So there was and I'll come back to the Liberian stuff, and let me just tell you right now. So there was just one test we were supposed to take. So steel frame building. You put a weight on the building, but all of the connection of the steel frame, you got the beam here, the columns there, the connection, we'll call it Medusa, because you have to do movement distribution. You have to distribute the weight so it will be stable. That type of calculation, movement distribution calculation, is not fun. The only other thing that is a little bit difficult, as far as I'm concerned, was the I forget the name of it. But anyway, movement distribution. So one evening, I go to class in the morning. I don't get out of there until like maybe 10, 11 o'clock at night, because I was committed to it. So this one afternoon, the professor came in, said, we're going to take a test. And what is the test about? He said, I'm not telling, but I'm going to go down the tavern, the quarter bar tavern. And if anybody want to follow me, please. So I said, I'll follow him. And I was not the only person. The entire class followed to go drink. So we started throwing airball. But I was very careful because I know this guy. He's very, very serious. He can be drunk and still give you the test. He's very smart. All of the structure in the entire engineering department, he's the head of it. Very smart. So Mr. Ralston came. So while we were at the tabling, they were drinking. And myself, I was throwing airball, but not by much. So they had a buffalo wing. We were eating peanuts and stuff. And mind you now, an hour later, we were supposed to go take a test. This movement distribution. And if you're a structured person, you know what I'm talking about. It's a very difficult class. There's no question asked. And at the end, when you do all of the distribution, you're supposed to have 0. You can't have anything left. Or if you have anything left over, your building is going to fall. But anyhow, so I asked him, I said, Doc, what is the test going to be like tonight? He said, Samson. Liberia man, he said, you want me to show you? I said, yeah, I'd like to know. He said, okay. So he took a napkin. True story, folks. He took a napkin and took the chicken wing, the buffalo wing bones, dip it in the hot sauce, and drew the test on a napkin. It was a frame, and he loaded the frame with weight from the top, wind blowing, snow low, and everything. But a week before, we had that same example classwork. So I have my note. Every one of us has a note. So, but what he didn't do was to give me the weight of each of these conditions that he created. So I said, okay. He said, this is it. So I said, oh, okay, thank you. And the other kids, they started calling me name. At that time, Bill Clinton was in serious trouble then. They called me Bill Clinton kid. carrying Bill Clinton, because Bill Clinton had Molesky, whatever her name is, situation, and I'm a liberal. They know that, so they call me Bill Clinton Kid. So Bill Clinton Kid, you have to be stupid just like your boss. Why would you think that this man going to draw a test up on this napkin and you expect it to be true? I said, that's it. So I took that test. I left about 20 minutes before. About 20 minutes before I left, I went back to class and I started opening my note. And for sure, when I open this page, it's an open book now. Don't mind you now. It's an open book test. In most engineering classes, you don't do closed book. It's an open book test. But you have to know the application. You know when these numbers stand for, how to do these numbers, the moment share diagram. You have to know all of those things. If not, you can have all the open book. If you don't know that, you don't know how to distribute the number, you don't. So I went in and started flipping. And I started doing. He didn't load it, remember that. He just loaded a condition. He put a condition and put a point load on there. And put the wind loads and stuff like that, earthquake load and everything else, the snow load. He mentioned that snow, wind, earthquake, and the point load. He did all of that, and in fact, that also have a distribution distribution load. Okay, so and the distribution load is vertically inclined distribution. It was just a difficult mess. So I went through. Okay, so he came. When they all came back, I was sitting there, I finished preparing myself. So he passed the test along. So when I opened it, the only thing that was different was the loading condition, the numbers, the capes that were the load. It was different. So I went in, I tried my stuff. Oh, okay. I started doing it. In less than 30 minutes, I was done. I went, I said, I'm done. She said, are you sure? I said, why? The other young kid was still struggling. She saw all of them scratching their head. So he said, okay, you want me to grade it right now? I said, yeah, because I knew what I had. I said, yeah. He said, okay. So he has a book that he can compare the information with. He opened it. So okay, he's the one started the mental. Okay, so okay, mental. Okay, then he take maybe half a point or something like that. When I was done, I got 97. I said, thank you very much, Samson. You did wonderful. So he said, you want me to announce? Why the other kids are still taking the test? I said, yes. You know, sometimes you can fight back without actually fighting. I said, yes. So he announced it. I think it was 97 or so. He announced it. He said, great job. So as I took, because when you're done, you got to step out. Either you go home or you step out and go to the library or something like that. So as I was stepping, I said, yeah. So the other big guy, played football for Youngstown State. He turned with a big voice, started cussing. I said, I don't care. So the next day when we came back, every one of those guys flunked. They couldn't make it, Medusa. So now with my higher grade, he has to somehow try to grade and find out how much each of us got and see if he can minimize it with those other. So since I was the leader, he told the class, you'll always be mean to Samson. I know that. You'll ask Samson to see if you want me to leave the grades like this, or by that time we were almost getting ready to get out. Anyway, nobody could afford to have any F on your grade sheet because that's gonna mess you up. So they say, I'll ask Samson if he agree. I'll try to scale the grade. So the liberal, they came. I was sitting there like this. Samson, what do you think? Should he scale? I said no. I don't want no skill grade. I did my job. I got my grade. That's what I'm going. Don't be ugly like that, Samson. This is real bad. You can't behave like it. You can't be this selfish. We're all here in this. You know, after almost 5 years together, we're almost like real close. We studied together. We did project together. So we know almost every day we're together. So we know each other real well. So they came back, Mr. Toll, not Mr. Toll, Samson, you're going to have to let him skill the grade. I said, no, I'm not skilling nothing. So Mr. Rossin said, going once, going twice. So I said, hold it. So Mr. Rossin, I said, Doc, if I say yes, you're going to skill? He said, yes. It depends on you. When you say yes, I will skill. So, okay. So I asked the guy, when the leader of the group, what was his name? Phil. I think his name was Phil. I said, from now on, I don't want to be mistreated in the class. Make sure nobody throw things at me because sometimes they roll out the paper and start throwing it at me. So I don't like that. They all came down. I said, okay, scale. And the teacher scaled the grades based on what I have. I didn't fight by physically. I fought by using my brain. From that point on, when we go out for survey, and this is what I'm so good at survey, to be honest with you, when we go out to survey, before they used to let me just run the rod. You know, the person who's standing there with the rod, they won't let me come close to the instrument. But after the teacher said, if I grade this thing is skilled, Samson's going to have to run the instrument. So I started running the instrument until we got out of school. I was running the instrument throughout. So I could run EDM. I could run 60-second gun. I could run 30-second gun. I could do all of that. The Vernier and all the kinds of stuff. I did all of them. So I'm still good at that. But the main thing I want to say here for me going through all of this is Jesus tonight is this. There are times if you want to succeed in a group setting, you follow the group, but you do things to be better so that the group will look at you. You do not want to get yourself to impose your will on the group. But if you do good, the group find that your goodness is standing out, they will follow. So until we in fact, during the time we were marching, T is way down. T is way down. But guess what? I was the head. When we did the concrete canoe, you know, concrete, real concrete, we did a canoe. The canoe, the Fandi people have, we did a concrete canoe. I was a captain. I did a mix design, everything. And the first one we did, I didn't do it wasn't me that did the mix design. It got stuck in the bottom of the water. So when I did my mix design, I have a lot of styrofoam calculator in it. I have a lot of plasticizer mixed with my concrete and stuff like that. So it was very light. It was very light. Not a lot of sand or, it was very light. Okay. And he likes my design. So my design, we took that to Penn State. By the way, we had a competition with Penn State, with big Penn State. Penn State, they're way in the bush, not in Philadelphia, they're way in the bush. We beat them. So we won that based on your man's own mix design. So when I did those things, these young people started taking, okay, so when the time to study, what do you have, Samson? What do you have, Samson? So I began to be known as, what do you have, Samson? When I went to Liberia, I went to Africa during the war, 1990. When I came back, we have another concrete canoe. This time it was in Cincinnati. At that time, I had malaria. So I didn't want to play around water. So being the captain, I selected somebody to row for me. Row your boat. But the reason I'm mentioning all of these things is to tell you that if you're in a group setting, not only do you set an example as a leader, but that you must be able to do good. So when we went to Penn State, we won. We went to Cincinnati, we won. In fact, the boat that I makes design, those two boats, we cut them in half. They're still at the school right now as we speak with my name. And they put it, the last time I went to Canton, I saw the book with my name right there, Samson Tour, Captain. It's still there. Generation to come, they will look at that design. And the paper, the design makes design paper stuck, we'll put it onto the boat. It's nothing to hide. But the point here is this. Let's go back to our own Liberia setting. Folks, if you're watching Samson Tour, Mr. George, if you have the opportunity, please join me if you don't mind. The reason I go through using my own as an example, it is not because I'm a good engineer as far as I'm concerned. But here's the thing. In this situation, the government of the Republic of Liberia, President Baka is like a father of any one of those people that are being employed, except maybe one or two who will be about the same age group. But the young people, from what one of the guy at public work I called the other day before I called my own little brother, and the guy told me they wanted to go on Spoon, but Spoon would not invite the engineers. Spoon will invite the minister who is not an engineer. He has no clue. The only thing he talks about, based on hearsay and what he witnessed, he has not done any kinds of engineering design. He has not done any kind of engineering inspection. When Judy Moore was there, he was there as a deputy minister for administration, dealing with money. So I'm not saying that he doesn't have the ability to lead or to be the minister. That's not my point. But if you are invited to speak on an engineering topic, and you know you have no clue, this is what I always come against the like of Judy Gaining. If you know you don't know, say you don't know, and get people who knows to be ahead of the group. You don't have to speak all the time. President Bakai said no car gonna get stuck in 100 days. When that statement was made on the same platform, I told you that it was not possible. According to a story, that Gating was giving lots of money and they gave contract out. That's thing gonna come back to hurt them. Because if you are the engineer and you know the quantities, because you will know how much it takes to do these things. Okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, so let's just do one section of the road, say 250 feet of the road. Okay, now I'm just giving you an example. So 250 feet section of the road. The way you do the quantity, the way you do the road construction, the way you do all of these things is based on length, weight, and depth. That's how you come up with a quantity. Okay. So let's start. The road itself, it's already there. The alignment of the road is not going to change. You're not making it, you're not changing any of the curves. You're not changing, maybe vertical curve, maybe vertical profile, maybe. But most of the stuff are there. Okay. So you take 50 or 250 feet section, okay, of the road. All right. 250 feet. And the thickness of that, okay, let's just say, I'll be ridiculous, say 5 feet, okay, from the bottom of the row to the top, 5 feet. Now with that 5 feet, let's split them up. The 5 feet, we're going to say 2.5 for base material, because you're already at a God-given base, which is the clay, you're there. 2.5 is the base material, okay? 2.5 is the base material. Then you have soft base. The soft base, let's use another 1.5 feet for sub base, 1.5 for sub base. We got 0.5 now, 6 inches of finished material, 0.5. Okay, so if you calculate those, okay, 1, 2, 3, that's 15, 5, okay, 3, 4, okay. Wait a minute, 250, okay, 150, okay, no, 10. Okay, so 1 here, base, sub-base, subgrade 1, and then 0.5. Okay, so we have that. Okay, now, if you are an engineer, what I'm going to be showing you here, it'll be difficult for you to say you want to steal. But if you are not an engineer, you look at the money, you say, oh my God, it's a huge money. Okay, so let's look at this 250 feet here. So 250 feet, and most of this here are done in cubic yard. The people always pay in cubic yard. They don't pay anything else most of the time, either cubic yard or square yard. But I don't have to go into detail with you. So I'll just do cubic yard. Okay, so let's just say 250 feet times, we're going with a base now, times 2.5, okay, that's 625, times the weight, let's just say 24 feet, times 24, that's 1,500, okay. It's square feet now, 1,500 square feet, divided by 27. I'm not going to go into why 27 and things like that, but I know it's 27, the square yard now. So on this here, okay, we got 556 square yard for the base. Okay, let's go to the sub base. We said we're going to use 1.5 feet. Okay, again, so if we're going to use 100, I'm just showing you, I'm telling you how dense these people are. And they think people are stupid. You see, they think people are stupid. Now, if you are not that's one of the reasons why Gideon will not go on Spoon to explain, because he doesn't know how to explain. He will not be, this is what they want. If he were to go on Spoon, one of the things he's going to say, he will say, take $1 million for a mile of road. That's the only thing he can tell you. He can't break it down like this because you have no clue. Okay, so the base for the 250 foot and 24 feet wide, okay, 2.5 feet deep is 556 cubic yard. So let's just say, because the more material you have, less amount of money you pay. But I will give it to them. Let's give them $5 a yard. Let's give them $5 a yard. So $5 times 556. That gives you $2,795 for the base. Okay? Base. Okay. Let's go to sub base now. The sub base, okay, and I'm just showing you this thing now. The sub base, okay, just 250 feet. The sub base, we said we're going to use 1.5 for. So 1.5 times 250, that's 375, times, we already did this, the length and the depth, we already did that. Now we're going to do 24 times 24, that's 9,000 square yard. Divide by 27, that gives you 330, let's say 34 square cubic yard. Okay, this is a sub-base material. Good evening, Mr. So. I just want to show you getting there saying they spent $22 million to do the road. And I just want to show a little piece of it. And then if you don't mind, if you want me to continue with it, if not, I can go on to and listen and what you're here to do.
Go ahead.
Finish my story.
Go ahead with your
okay. All right. So we got 334 cubic yard of base. I mean sub base. So let's go the sub-base. Let's give them, because it's a good material. Because as you come up the road now, your material have to be solid because it's supposed to support the weight and distribute the weight of the truck or the car. So let's give them the 334 cubic yard. Let's give them, I'll say $10 a cubic yard. Okay. So 334 times 10, that gives them $3,340 for the 250 feet. Okay, let's go with it. Let me bring in Mr. George. Thank you for joining. I think I'm in trouble to have these two people here. I think, ladies and gentlemen, let me close my book. I will come back to it because having Mr. George and Mr. So here, they will not let me to continue my tabata. So I'm already in trouble having the two people here. So let's just jump into what they have. But what I was trying to do is to show you a 250 feet of road, how much it's supposed to cost. And all the numbers that I'm giving you here, most likely they are less in terms of dollar amount.
This guy here, this is just.
Here we go. So I will they're here. So let's deal with good evening, Mr. I will come back later on at the end of the show and I will finish it.
The story ends. You're not coming back to it. Don't be
okay, the story ends. Okay. All right, Mr. George. I knew once because before you came, when I started, you said, yeah, go ahead and finish this thing. Now you show, now you say my story ends.
The story finished.
Thank you, Mr. George. Thank you for joining us. Mr. So, thank you for joining me as well. Folks, and I will do this here when I bring this young man on, so you will see where they spend the $22 million to do the road. And I will do this, then we'll multiply it just by the length of what they say they have and see if you're going to get $22 million. But Mr. So, thank you.
What is the argument in this whole thing? Because what is your argument? What are you trying to disprove?
Well, I'm trying to say the $22 million
to do the length. You cheer him. Oh, he was the best guy. One time you flip-flop, you came back again, you ate crow, and here you are again. This sort of crime-messy, portable, sadable thing here. We can't be doing that consistently on this network. This is ridiculous, Samson told. And it seems to me.
You remember now. You're on my show. You're on my show. I'm running the show. I'm running the show. So just know that.
Meaning?
Just know that.
Meaning?
I'm the boss.
Emma George, you see him? he's running the show. So when he's running the show, no other views, no other opinions will be expressed.
Where is Jerry and Terry tonight? Why these two people will be the first to enter this room?
Oh, you're calling for your boy chance? No, why are you not telling us your guy is here? Why are you not telling us some of the things that happen?
What Mr. So is saying? Because the person signed the contract already. So we don't know the clauses that they put in there. Can the new government cancel the contract?
Yeah, but basically what I was trying to do, and I will do it another time, is to show the audience.
Let all of us do it now.
Yeah. So the question I'm asking.
Answer the main question.
The new government, the contract was signed. We did it here before. It was what, 17 million? Then it went to under 22 million on the then government. So the government has taken over. My question to you, all the analysis you give, do you want them, or do they have the ability to say they cancel the contract?
Where is your doubt in this whole thing?
Yes.
Where is it?
Because I heard from the public work minister that I think they were supposed to have some overpasses or the token about this time they made them to put it back into the contract. So
even with the overpass, to spend $22 million.
But my question to you now, what do you expect this government to do? Because you're still speaking about it, what do we expect this government to do?
Let's find a solution ahead of what appears to be a potential problem.
Just what I'm doing here. Go through the plans and do a quantity takeoff. What are the quantity and how much they charge the contractor as an engineer when you do this? You give your quantity and you give the dollar amount. They call it engineering estimate. Then the contractor comes out and does their own do their own takeout or take off on quantities. Then they put prices on it. Then it's okay. This is how much it's going to cost me to build this road.
Do us a favor. Do us a favor. Pa George, I said.
But my question back to you.
Simple.
All those things were, I believe all those things were
You're
not
not speaking.
the contract were awarded.
Let's be sensitive in this guy here, because he's trying to restructure something. You're not speaking to Pa George and myself. You are speaking to a broader audience who some are not engineers, who don't know. You take the one, you take the one. No, we don't have time for that. Tell us what is involved. What is the downsides of what? Say it the simplest way. Let we understand what you are trying to tell us.
My concern is the previous government, knowing their history with money business, they are not to be trusted, number one. So if this government coming in, the contract is already signed.
Yeah.
But that does not mean that the quantity forward. You, the next government are coming in. Okay, contract signed. We agree, but let's check your quantity. How did you come up with this quantity to come up with this amount of dollar amount? Because the dollar amount that they're going to pay, the government going to pay, it's not just the equipment and the operator. It's based on the material they're going to put on the road. The material, it has to be quantified. So if the public works minister and everybody else said, no, this thing is too much, and this is what I'm saying, not being an engineer is a problem, and said this is too much, let's check it. And all they can do is check their quantity and check their prices, because Liberia also have a price gauge. They don't just get out in the air and say they rock here going to. No, they got price set. If you go and buy letter rocks by yard, they tell you how much it is. So you do all of those things and then you come up with a price. If the price match what they have, they go on. If not, you do reduction.
Okay, so now your point here now, you want the government to go back and revisit the contract to do the assessment.
Is that what you're saying?
Is that what you're saying now?
Contract itself. The contract is already signed.
Mr. Toh, we're speaking the same language, but maybe we're seeing it a different way.
Okay.
The contract is signed, the work is in progress. But your point of argument is that estimate, that amount the contractor asked for is too much.
Right.
And in other words, the government will go back and say, hey, give me your breakdown of your expense, how you arrive at this figure.
Right.
So before you answer that, let me just add a little piece of layer on it. And Pa George and myself want to think up. Your Jerry background with all of them with those same story thing where that's not what's going to happen here tonight. You on your own. So let's put it this way. You as an engineer, you seem to have gone through all of this whole thing now. You're visiting and you know exactly what is happening. And you are a strong supporter of this government, no doubt about that. You are made yourself public here, well known and everything. What is your recommendation in terms of all of these factors that you are considering, if it is to be a good deal? Is there some sort of fraudulent act? Is there some sort of ambiguity into the process? And with all that you are gathering right now, if it stays as it is, it could not get the result that it could be. What would be your recommendation to this government, Dr. Bwaka?
Well, the first thing is to avoid court issue and everything else. Leave everything as it is. They already gave in Liberia, they call it bill of quantity. They already gave that bill of quantity. But you, as a public work minister or ministry, your job is to inspect, to make sure all of the quantity they said they're going to have, they use it. Now, if your inspectors...
More trouble in time. You on your own to let.
I'm not scared of you. You know that. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for all three of you. Just combine all of you.
Dr. Jones, welcome.
Why are you welcoming people when you're not the one who's running the show?
It doesn't matter.
Mr. Toh, you in the lion den.
So you got another background different. What give me a little okay. Anyway, but you instead of going through the court system, you say, okay, your inspectors should go out at the end of the day. The people come to the inspector because the inspector and the contractor going to have to agree on the quantity that is used before they get paid. The problem that happened in Liberia, Honorable Judge, and I'm aware of that, is that McGill will tell the people pay them. They're not worried about what they think. When these young people go and send their report to public work, the young man Kevin will tell the person, I want to get paid. Well, you don't. Then the people say he didn't do this much. Why would you want to get paid for this much? Okay, and they will still get paid anyhow. So now this government should say you're gonna get paid based on the project and the progress. And if you, at the end of the day, if you say this project gonna cost $10,000, and at the end of the day you do $50,000 job, why should we give you $10,000? We will give you $50,000, and the court will back you because you have all your documentation to show that you have done your homework. And this is what the point I was making when I went through all of my 5 years of school and all that kind of stuff. And that is, let me close on this here, folks. Then, Mr. So, you can go ahead and take it over because that's what you're going to be doing anyway.
No.
The point that my closing on this is President Bakai is the father of all of us. But he is not going to be here and be there and be there. That's why he selected these young people, most of the young people, to help him. But if these young people themselves are not ready to carry out the function, then we have problems. Because President Bakai is not going to go to Guinea and hire Guineans to come work and do good job in Liberia. He will have to hire Liberians. Liberians must be those who have the spirit of making sure things happen good for our country.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. So.
Welcome to the show. The real show is about to start. Okay, folks.
And by the way, I'm letting you to run the show because I don't want no flower. I don't want on the show tonight, but I let you run it because I don't want no flower. So don't come put Mali and Imoja over my head here tonight. I beg you.
Before man and God, the liberal surrendered his will. He gave his wife right away. I am in charge now. Legendary Amos George. Good evening. Welcome, Dr. Mali Jones. Good evening. Welcome. We are taking our country back. We are taking LPR back from the hands of the liberal and that of Jerry Bacon from the Boashins. Liberians are taking their network back. The liberal progressive. Good evening. Welcome.
You met me here, then you say you welcoming me.
Well, you surrendered. You already.
All right. Thank you for having us, Mr. So. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, let's have a conversation. Liberal, thank you so much. Too much been going on since we returned from Minnesota, and that's trying to catch up with other things here. But too much is ongoing. Let's take a review. My understanding, the president, His Excellency, is here, is in the U.S. and attending this 2024 U.S. African Business Summit. Let's do some little bit. Hair pouring here and there. Liberal, let me start with you. I'm not going to be like you. I know it's your program, so we will work with you if possible. If need be, well, we can take other hard measures. But the president is here. What do you think? This summit here, try to kind of take a review, bringing together a lot of executives.
Jesus when a poor is poor. Look how other places should. I must have just excuse myself from the show tonight and let y'all have fun.
Why?
But look who's showing up. Jesus.
My dear friend, Kato, good evening. Welcome, by the way.
Thank you so much, brother. So thank you to Mr.
I
Jones.
guarantee you your civil liberties will be restored here this event. Those rights that have been taken away from you by those squatters from different countries, and came and they want to take the people right away. We're gonna make sure that the people. This is what LPR is all about. Not to have two-person, one seat in Sacramento, another one seat in Rhode Island here. Look, and just give that sort of praises. That's not what this network is today. Let's look at the president's visit, what is happening. But on a serious note here, Labor, there are some issues also ongoing, but the good thing about the Boyka's administration, I think they are managing the information, managing it in terms of getting it out there in the public domain, even though it is there. But there are some folks who are not listening to the president. If we talk to people who in close proximity to the president, it's still troubling. How concerned are you? Listen to what you're saying regarding even the minister now. Certain people just want to be in charge. They want to be the rooster. They want to be the only people to crow. But I think people who have the expertise should be put forward in order to give the proper interpretations or the representations of the government. Is that happening, or are you having some sort of apprehension that at some point in time we're going to see a different side of President Boyka?
Well, most likely you will see the other side of President Boyka. It just happened to be that over the weekend, we went for the function, my wife and I, and at the function, there was another guy from Lofa County, a white man from Lofa County, who grew up from 3, 4, 5 years all the way to 15 years old, along with Bakai, President Bakai. So he's a childhood friend of President Bakai, but he called himself Tamba. But he told me this. He said even when he went for the inaugural program, everything was fine. But he's saying, without saying exactly what he was trying to say, but he said that it seemed to me that the struggle with this president is that the folks around him saying everybody want to be the, like you correctly stated, be the rooster, big rooster in the room. And so as a result, he said, even those that are working within the government, if they come up with good ideas, as long as that idea seems not to come from a certain circle, most likely it's not going to go anywhere. And I tend to believe him because up to this point, we are yet to see from this government the blueprint. At least to tell some of us to run with that kinds of stuff. But we have nothing to run with. Nothing.
Okay, let me hold you there. It seems to me you're afraid because Dr. Jones is going to bring that. That has been his talking point on day one, and you refuse on purpose to listen to him. So I'll be compelled to bring him here to see whether somebody is listening to him or who is on the right side of history. Dr. Jones.
Yes, sir.
So the issue of this blueprint, this is something that you have consistently is literally every day is your talking point. Why is it so important?
Well, it is important for two reasons. One, it tells those of us that not in Joseph Boyka camp the direction this government is going. That one. Two, it also tells us that Joseph Boyka team is prepared to move forward, even in the absence of Joseph Boyka. There is a blueprint that either the vice president or whosoever will take forward, or even after the 6th year, we know that there's a blueprint that we can continue with. Something that was conspicuously missing in the then we are government. so we keep asking for a blueprint. For instance, let me just get an example. Let's get back to the issue of the road. If we have a comprehensive blueprint from our government, I'm sure this government will continue with that. For instance, I asked the Liberia the last time, how many roads that we really need to build right now? How many roads have we built? How many farm to market roads we want to target between 6 and 12 years? Where those roads supposed to be situated and in which county? All right? These are some of the things that need to be into the blueprint. Then when you're doing your budget allocation, you know exactly what you will do. It's not that your government or your team will finish or will exhaust the blueprint. No. You will play your part and another government will continue from there. This is how society is developed. But up to now, as Liberia, I want to thank him for now saying the reason why we need a blueprint for almost in every sector of this government. The last time they just had what I call a retreat. That one of the best places where you brainstorm and you put your team into cells and they come up with brainstorming thing and you come up with a comprehensive package, put it on the Executive Mansion website. When we go there, we say, okay, now His Excellency and his team, they are ready. They have told us what they will be doing between 6 and 12 years. Okay. That will even neutralize some of the hardliner argument all over Liberia, including my best, including my best and honorable panelist, Keto. He will agree with me because their government, they were just on a charade, you know. We never saw that.
And you say he will agree with you?
Hold on. So, George,
yeah.
Let me bring you in here. Dr. Malley is making an argument here, and I'm wondering here, I'm just going to speak off the cuff. I'm wondering here, African governments, not just on it Liberia, to try to get a blueprint, because this is something that you're going to hold them back because it outlines your specific agenda systematically. We step first, we step second, we step next. You look at the whole country, maybe you break it into some demographic or zone. You give your priorities and why those priorities are set, the economic dividends they're going to bring, the infrastructure development they're going to bring. It's not happening. We saw that obviously, and Dr. Malley is right with the WIA government. Is it that politicians are taking advantage of their citizenry, not asking legitimate questions during this campaign? They are not being held accountable as to how they're going to affect changes, impact people's life. Are they taking advantage of ordinary voters?
I don't know what I would say the word advantage, but I just say abusing the minds of the people. And this has been an old-age problem with Liberia and Africa. I don't see no government in Africa or Liberia that have laid out a blueprint, 6 year, 12 year, 18 year. I'm not seeing that. If they did it, they did not follow it. So this is the problem. And it's not just the citizenry, but what about the international community? How can you talk to somebody that, look, we want to build 5, 6 schools in 6 years. These are the region. And you don't have any people to show the person. What do you think happens to think of you? So the WIA government will make noise, they came with proper agenda. But they didn't follow. They didn't follow that proper agenda. They chunky as that. So even sometimes if they when we made a noise, they came out with something, but they didn't follow it. The true is that. The Baka government, okay, they say arrest. So now, they cannot put that into a blueprint. lay it out there. How you going to achieve agriculture now? They didn't have anything. A year now, the agriculture minister is trying to lay out his plan. The guy from the EP now trying to lay out his plan. So it means that now these people now going back to ministry and each of them to try to put paperwork together. So it will just be like saying we are the government. Maybe the next 6 months we will see this is come up with some kind of plan. But you cannot run no institution, organization without a plan. Because where do you start from? Where do you start from? What are your priorities?
Okay.
So these are questions that continue to linger, continue to haunt African government. So Liberia is no exception. And past government had done it, and this government is doing it because when the campaign was on, these things should have been done. That when you lay out, they should have laid all these things, get it on the table. By the time they win, the flagship executive march on their website. This is how we want to do this role. This is how we want to build this school. These are the market we want to build. This year, this region, but nothing. So I wonder. So it's only Mufta. There's nothing on paper. It's time for our country.
Mufta, as you know, the tradition, before I go to Keto, Wilton Keto from Connecticut, who is pro-GOL, we always engage our audience, allow them to whether they are following online. Let me bring this comment out here from Mr. Khalifa Soman Jackson. In the president's 100-day speech, he said the government economic plan will be coming out in few weeks. In my view, it should have been, not after the cut-off time that you said X was going to be having. The plan will show the government economic direction. Let me just bring you here. Without you, is at your own will. Of if you want to respond to that, we got to engage in here. But we talk about people going off for retreat. The government you support, we saw all of that happening. My understanding, the retreat, they are meant for the government, national government, central government to recalibrate all of the ministries, agencies of government, take a review. I have some sort of set agenda as to where and how they're going to lead those ministries, agency of government, and present a comprehensive package, and that can be condensed, summarized, and that ultimately becomes the government national agenda. We didn't see this happening. Are we going down our same road?
Well, I'll just make a correction before I answer that question. I think even though there was a blueprint that was delayed, but it was presented to Liberian people called the Pro-Poll for Development in Liberia. I think Mr. Toll can attest to that because many of times he brought it out during the campaign. If CDC just go by this, he would have achieved a lot. I think the UP-led government, I don't know whether they're going that same route with CDC as delaying or trying hard to develop one earlier. I think CDC came out in like 6 months. But what is happening here that we have to understand? We have a government that heavily depends on foreign donation, foreign partners, and even if you come out with a blueprint, to implement that blueprint to the letter, it will be difficult, if not impossible, because you have different standards from different donors how to go about doing these things. You have to solicit funds. You have to ask for loan. Some people give you grants, some people give you loan, and those things, they take time to come into the government pocket to start implementing the project. But it's also good for blueprint because this government, this is the second time in power. I mean, second presidency because they were there for 12 years and the vice president was there for 12 years. There was a blueprint, or there is a blueprint from the past and Unity Party government that should have been carried on by this government. Even if it's not totally, you could look at it and mimic it a little bit and say, okay, we're going to go with this agenda and see if we can move our country forward, because that agenda It was about development of roads, agriculture, education. You could, that tweet it a little bit and send it out there. But again, I think we are expecting too much at a very early stage, and I'm praying and hoping that this government will do the right thing to move our country forward, bring a blueprint instead of just going around and doing arbitrary and things here and there, making big mistakes here and there, and then coming back and say, okay, we got to recalibrate it, not even recalibrating properly. We saw with the asset recovery team, they're going back, they're going straight incommunicado. We can't even hear what's going on with them. And, they're laying off of 40,000 people. It's just all over the place, not paying people, and president traveling over 20 some more people, and all the kind of stuff.
Come on.
And all the kind of all the kind of stuff, yeah. And so this the thing. I think it's too early at this point. It's too early at this point for us to start to push this government too much. Let the government take the time to develop the blueprint. The president said in a few weeks there will be a blueprint, a way forward, and to carry on his arrest agenda, and then wait to see it.
Keto is trying to walk a fine line here. I'm not sure how this is going to be here. The Liberal. The Liberal, are you there? The Liberal Progressive.
Liberal?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. I'm hearing somebody getting.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. You listen to Keto's argument. Why the blueprint is vital? Is that something that should have come first and foremost, or coming later? It make no difference. Or what is it? Why should we even talk about it?
Well, culture point is good, except the fact that it's coming from CDC that muted it completely. But let me just say this here, Mr. So. What is amazing about this, and what is confusing as far as I'm concerned with this unity party, is that they were in power for 12 years. And President Bakai ran around 2017. And they knew that he was going to run again. So you would think that even by the time the inauguration starts, they should have had government in place, all of the ministry and all of the agency. Most likely should have been failed by that time, because they had so much time to prepare themselves. I'll give you an example. On the late Councilor Bronskin, when he was running to be president as member of Liberty Party USA, we were tasked, the Liberty Party USA, we were tasked to have a group of each professional. Lawyer has their group, doctor has their group, engineer has their group, accountant, and we were asked to put this group together and write a paper that the president will be able to use for his convention. And most likely that process, that project, or whatever it was, most likely would have been a blueprint. And I was involved in it. Now, you would think Unity Party will have something like that. They have some very, very smart people. They should not be struggling at this point. You have the agriculture minister coming up with his own brilliant plans. The Minister of Education also putting something brilliant plan together, but they are not linked as a unit. They're separated based on individual input. And it shouldn't be like that. You cannot use the blueprint from agriculture and say that's the Unity Party-led government blueprint for agriculture. We all know that. The man wrote it. He exposed it. We all know that. So these are things, but the importance of a blueprint, as your question is seem to be suggesting, the importance of a blueprint, from my perspective, Mr. So, it allows the common man to know what are the goals that you're setting, what are the achievable within that goal that you're setting, what are things that you will be running after to consider the long-term goal, short-term goal, what are the important, how does it affect each and every one of us in Liberia? These are kinds of stuff a blueprint supposed to be targeting and trying to explain to the people. We don't have that.
We don't have that. Dr. Jones, will we get it at some point in time?
I think here is the issue right now. I think we are at a crossroad. Either the President 100-day deliverable will contain the blueprint of this government, which of course it will be belated, because these are some of the things we expect the president to touch down running. The blueprint should have been there by this time, and we're touching it in bits and pieces. Like Liberia said, I read the agriculture minister stuff. He got some nice thing there. Even the maritime group, all right? So maybe the president deliverable will contain his blueprint for the nation. And so we are waiting to see. But to be frank with you, the 90 days supposed to give us a deliverables. The 90 days is not supposed to be a commentary. It's not supposed to be an assessment. It's supposed to be a deliverable, a tangible that we can point at. You see, oh, we did this. Like for instance, President, we are government. One of his signature achievements, the building of the park, as something that President we can boast of and point at. And it's something that can shut down opposition more because he will always point at it. You see? And these are some of the things we expect in a deliverable. You see? But I'm afraid that I don't know whether they have something to already point out in 100 days. I'm not too sure. For example, CEO, let's get back to the police. Now you have serial killer on the run, murderers on the run in our country that keep killing people. All right. The State Department came out to tell us about the judicial system, how it's corrupt and other things. Keto just said the issue of funding. I agree with you. But it has nothing to do with your blueprint. When you have it, the second phase now is, where do we get money? Yes, right? So for instance, the police is struggling. Now the police is in the report. The judicial killing and other things, what have the police done? They disappearance of people. What have the sector done? So once you are in a State Department report, here is a strategy. You come up with a comprehensive analysis how you can solve this problem. All right? You make budgetary allocation to some of these problems. You send it back to the State Department. You say, look, in your 2022 report, there were 2 million disappearance of people you talk about. People were dying, mysteriously, serial killer on the run. But this is our budget. This is our $5 to $6 million budget where we think we can put this thing under control. We need your help. Trust me, the State Department will respond to you because they don't want for the thing to keep being repeated. But these things, you can only find them into a comprehensive blueprint of the government.
Okay, so then let me bring in Pat George here of the government. Here we have some aspects of the blueprint, why it is significant. I would make some sort of correlation with the U.S. African Business Summit. We know that it is a collection of people from different backgrounds, war leaders, private business investors, and to attract some sort of a business partnership for sustainable development. Now, Pat George, we're talking about it, blueprint. Why is so vital to any organizations, institutions? You should have some sort of layout here. They attended such a huge summit here. And I saw the delegations of the president, people from different agencies and sectors of the country. So if there's blueprint of that, you can use that to fetch, you can use that to create some sort of attraction. Hey, this is what we have. And because it's all about marketing what you have. You tell them why your country is in need, the desperations within the health sector. You compare, you contrast 4 or 5 years ago. This is where we were as a country, as a people. Now, 2024, this is where we are. And this is why some of the demanding reason why we need XYZ. So what are they going to be presenting? Just ordinary papers? They're going to be taking there now. Now you have a forum that brings in world leader, business, entrepreneurs, private people who might find interest, because people who want to showcase something, who want to show something, what should I say? Something tangible in black and white, details, outline. Potentially, they could be the one to get those big fish. So how are we going to do the soul winning process there?
No, it is another missed opportunity, because you got the Minister of Commerce, National Investment, and other people from other ministry and agencies. So if they had a package like the blueprint we're talking about, that would have been a good opportunity to present to people there, because it's networking, to get to people there, say, hey, this is what we're looking for. We're looking for people to come invest in the country. These are some of the areas we're looking at. But that's a missed opportunity. But let me push back on Mali and Keta some more.
Oh.
Georgia did not build that park in 3 months. I've said it, there's no way I would expect any government or the Joseph Walker government to say 3 months and they are pointing at tangibles. No. Then I would say I'm not being sincere. There's no way. The government is still in infant stage, still even trying to form the government, to formulate the government. In 3 months, and you expect them to say they come to show you tangible? No. That park you mentioned, I think you should have gone back to Georgia. They did not build that park within 3 months. There's nothing you can point out to me in 3 months like Georgia there as a signature project or thing in Liberia. So we have to be a little bit careful. We all are business government who want to see a blueprint, what they want to lead us. But we cannot go and say, oh, this person did this, and they didn't do it within 3 months. They didn't do it within 2 years. And Keta, that joint you want to build, it will not work. You got no evidence to show that 40,000 people have been laid off by the government of Liberia. This is a complete misinformation you're doing. Complete misinformation. What is the document to show to us that 40,000 Liberians have been laid off? Show me it. Show us. It's not just by talking. This kind of cheap propaganda will not work, and someone will not sit down to allow to go. If it is true, we'll talk about it. But you just throw this number out there: 40,000 Liberians being laid off by the government. Where is that document to show us that the government laid off 40,000 Liberians? Well, the guy was the director of the civil servant, Kim, said no. He debunked that. But you posted you one of those institutions said running with that. That will not hold. It's not how you'll come back to power. You want to attack the government, big fracture.
Instead of CDC smoking gun?
Yeah, that's why you see everyone in the year where that what they take down. Government beyond 40,000 people. But when you ask them, where are these people? If someone say you're working for government and they say, we'll give you 3 months to show up, we want to see you physically. Is that dismissing people? Or because you want to get 10% in one office not doing anything because you want to continue to have the vote and just give them money, but they're not doing anything. They're not productive. Maybe if you're running your business and you can do that in a private sector, that will be okay. That you just got 20% and put them in one place, you sit down here. More I will pay you. The idea because I want you people to vote for me. We have to start these things here. So, Keta, if you can help me, just show me the documents. That 40,000 people were dismissed.
Okay. These guys from Atlanta, Georgia, the Georgia group, you know the history. I need not to re-echo. They are very good. They are very strategic. They can literally want to put you in the oven while you are alive. And I don't think I'm going to sit here That's exactly Amos George is trying to do now, putting you in a spotlight. He said, what? You seditions. So, Keta, do you want to disabuse him?
Oh, for sure. I didn't put it in Unity Party-led government mouth. Sedition did not put 40,000 people in Unity Party government mouth. It came out of Unity Party government mouth that they were going to lay off 40,000 people.
They were going.
Hold on. They were going to lay off 40,000 Liberians, regardless of where they come from, who they are. They were going to lay them off because they feel that CDC, before he left, he put people on the payroll and they were going to lay them off. And Liberia, not only seditions, even Unity Party people frown at it because the very people that affected, they have family that came from Unity Party, CDC, and all other parties. They are Liberian. So I did not put it, sedition did not put it out there. So you get that other thing correct. But this the thing I want to catch Mr. George when he tried to put her in the corner. And like I know the people from Georgia how they act. They're responsible for most of our dark days. But they throw stone and hide their hands. We know y'all. Mr. Two can attest to that. But we'll save that topic for another day. So this the thing. Unity Party openly said, what I say, we will hit the ground running. We will hit the ground running on day one.
But wait a minute. You told us here that you are going to give time. It's not too soon.
No. I'm only responding to Mr. because he want to make the conversation is like we are saying that he has to deliver. No, we're not saying that. And I came here to tell you it would be wrong for me to put Joseph Boakai to the neck.
I wonder what is the airline for CDC? What is the Liberian airline?
You understand? So this is what is happening. When you made the expression that we cannot show you any tangible in 30 months that President Weah did. President Weah worked in door community. 30 months, you will get paved road yet. Darius didn't have a bad muffin that paved road, use that road to go home. 30 months it was constructed. That tangible there. In 30 months, he announced, in fact, he broke ground for a brand new military hospital, first of its kind in Liberia. They started constructing it. That's what they were talking about when Mr. Mali Jones said, where are the tangible, not narration? Where are the tangible? Those things was started when he said it in the first 100 days. You understand? But I still believe that, look, this government has time. This government came at the time where, like any other government, I mean, Liberia.
All right. So let's take a quick break, get a glass of water. We need to
give me 30 seconds. Yeah.
Commercial, and we'll come back. We have Amos George and then the Liberal. I think our folks want to participate to open. The Liberal, are you prepared to open your phone line tonight? Even though I'm sitting, you surrender, but I'm trying to restore some right to you. Okay, so think about that. We'll be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-5333, 3337 or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services and your friends in business.
There you have it. If you have events, no matter where you are, as long as you're on planet Earth and you're accessible to internet, we can reach whatever you want us to reach. Tell your story to the world. Hit out, so we'll provide you a service and you make a little reasonable donations. It's all about nothing free. I don't know. I never found money since I came to this country. And now you guys never found $5 there somewhere around. People quarter drop, they're running behind it from going getting in the manhole. So let us know whatever your events, graduations, ceremonies all over the place. These are memorable events you want to. And guess what? When we do that, we also put that on YouTube for the life of the loan. So I reach out to us 682-433-8802. You can contact any of the LPR members, and they will coordinate with us. I think Pa George want to say something. You want to put your number up, and then after Pa George, I'll bring you in, and we can see if we can incorporate some phone calls here at internet conversation. So what you want to push back, Pa George?
I got a point of correction to make after Pa George, please.
Against Kato?
No, to Pa George.
The slavery project will not be in 3 months. Samson told know about it will not be in 3 months. So why are you putting the way? If you talk about George, we are 6 years, then you can count it. But we're not building in 3 months. No way that road could have been built in 3 months. Yes, Samson told that. You are part of that project. He has some thing to play with it. We're not building 3 months. The murder hospital, when it started? 2018? It started 2018 March? No. It never started 2018 March. So why are you saying that was the tangible you talk about? If someone said, what job we are doing within the past 6 years, fine. You can point to those things. You can point to it as something he did. But those things were not done in 3 months, my brother. The issue here is, you said the United Party people said there are 40,000 people. You said they said they will. They have not done it. So why are you taking it wrong way? The man who was in charge of Civil Servant went on the air and said no. So why you continue to peddle that kind of cheap propaganda? I'm done.
I have Aaron Brabler on the air, on the line.
Okay, after that call, then let's say he had it.
Aaron, go ahead, Mr. Brabler. Are you there?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Fine.
Good. Welcome.
Yeah. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, Keto, let me just disagree with you on one thing. So in Georgia here, they got great political analysts. Mr. George is not even one of them. Okay, so nobody in Georgia will do anything to score Liberia. Number one. Okay, so number two, let me go to you, Mr. George. Mr. George, this mindset that you have, every time, people talk about this government, you want to talk about President Weah didn't do this in 2 months, President Weah didn't do this in 3 months. President Weah is not a leader anymore. These people came to power on the backs of being experienced. These people came to power on the backs of being the people who will hit the ground running. They are experienced people. They got governmental ideas that they already have in store waiting to come and start running. So President Weah is not a leader for the country. You don't leave President Weah alone. Think about ANC, Mr. George. How many votes the ANC got? With your support behind them, with you being a political analyst for them, how many votes?
You say what? And what?
So don't be comparing Joseph Boakai 3 months with President Weah 3 months. We're not talking about President Weah. We're talking about the government that told us they were experienced and they will come to change things in the country. And lastly but not the least, to my own big brother, Mr. Toll, Dr. Toll, can you prove anything that it was Nathaniel McGee who was telling the people, yeah, you're pay them?
Yes, yes, I know that.
That we carry around today that made these people to get on sanction, and we can't even prove it. You got a government in Liberia, mistake after mistake after mistake. They're stealing money, $2 million for Dr. Road, and you want to put your mouth on the government, or you want to put your mouth on Nathaniel McGee? You're talking about the stealing that's going on. You don't talk about what happened in the past. You're talking about the stealing that's going on now, today, in broad daylight. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Dr. Jones, and I'll go to the Liberal.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Thank you,
make
for your contribution.
yeah, I just wanted to make one point of correction to Pa George. Pa George is characterizing the points and the facts.
Oh boy.
I did not say George Weah 100 days was representative of the park. I was only simply trying to make an analogy that George Weah, the park there, you can point at it as a tangible.
But then you should have modified that.
I come and give me a break, Pa George. You need to hold fast to your guns. I did not say the park there, it was George Weah's signature work for 100 days. I was simply saying the park there is a signature achievement that you can point out. So in other words, I was just trying to say deliverable, we should see tangible, we should see something we can point out that how I brought the park in as an illustration. Now, you are saying that 100 days, you can't point at deliverables. No, it's not true. If you are an experienced government, you can point at 1 or 2 deliverables in 100 days. Because this is an experienced government. This is not elementary government. The government well experienced, right? Now, the next point of correction here, you said the people that came on a business trip, you fear that they don't have anything to produce. No, we don't know. Maybe they have their blueprint. They're going to present it to those people. We don't know. The only thing we're seeing here is that we are not seeing it as Liberians. Maybe they have something to produce. So I can go into that era. I can put my neck on the chopping board. The agriculture minister said he got a blueprint in a newspaper. But as Pa Joy said, this thing, they are all segmented. We want this thing in a comprehensive package. So the delegation may have their blueprint because a 9-member delegation, and the president was very strategic. He picked some rare people that are on our delegation that are supposed to speak on their own issue. I read our delegation, 9-member, very strategic. So maybe they have something that we don't know. So we can't pass judgment on that they hear, they get nothing to show. No, we can't do that. I can't do that anyway. Thank
you. Mr. Malley, let me just hold you right there. The content in which you are speaking, you didn't say, for example, we were speaking about 90-day deliverables, and you brought that in. If you would have said, hey, for this is an illustration, then it's different.
No, but
hold on now.
Did you ask me in what context I was speaking?
Hold your gun. You were talking, I didn't interrupt you.
I gotta go to the Liberal.
We were talking the context. Okay. And you may mention the issue came in that context. You didn't modify to say, oh, look, this is what I meant at the time. But because I pushed back, now you come back and say, oh, I was talking and I just brought into illustration. No, we can't go like that. And I still stand. If these people brought a package, it's no secret it wasn't for the Liberian people. They should have a press conference and say, look, we came to the meeting, we present this package to the people, or we'll present it to the people. But it has not been done. So I'm speaking as I have not seen anything.
All right. I got to go to the Liberal, but Jones wanted to make a point. Let me go to the Liberal. We're not going to do a Caesar. Dr. Jones?
Yeah. Yeah, so what we're seeing here is that in a much we try to get the benefit of the, you see, the caller that just called, this government has marketed itself so high that we don't expect a loophole or a gap here. This His Excellency has a 40-year experience under his belt. His team, he said he has so much trust in them. So at this time, when we start talking these things, it is regrettable that we're talking these things. But with the issue of the delegation here, well, I don't want to put my nail on the chopping board that they don't have anything. No, I don't know.
Okay, let's settle that score. The Liberal, you see how easy it becomes when you are independently minded. You feel so comfortable because you don't have anything to fry in. You talk, you discuss what the Liberian people wants to hear all sides of the coin. You don't be biased. You don't deliberately cut people off. When certain people call in, oh, this phone can't take this, my battery is dying, and all of that. So, oh, Dr. Jones, what?
Oh no, I mean,
but if the main phone is there, why you can't? If the main phone is
you're
not
taking the
charged,
platform down memory lanes.
yeah.
That's
If
what
the
I'm
main phone is
laughing.
not charged, it's not charged.
You see that?
There you go.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The lifesaver, the Ecom.
Yeah.
He's a chameleon. He's a chameleon.
Mr. Keto decided to come here because Mr. Keto looking for a safe and an independent zone.
Not really.
Who don't want to be in a safe zone? People want to be somewhere where they will be at liberty. Nobody wants to liberty to be
Anytime Keto called and the battery was running low.
Yeah. Oh, when they called in my phone, oh, Elvis is calling me. Elvis, you got I left my connector. But let me just go to the Liberal. I left my the Liberal.
Thank you. I'm just listening to you and Mali. You give Mali more time than you get any other person here. I don't know why you continue to call him independent.
Say you. Don't speak on. We are live. Speak for yourself.
There you go.
We know Mali. We know Mali is you and Mali are undercover sedition. So I don't know what. Let me take this caller here. Caller Samson to Liberia Public. What's your name? Where you're coming from? What's on your mind? After you, then I'll make my comment. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Toe. This is Elvis calling from Minnesota.
Go ahead.
All right, hello to you, hello to the panelists. Look, I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed in my big brother Aaron Brooklyn. I think he's being too emotional on this whole thing. The election is over. Those of us who supported the CDC were only temporarily, ashamed. We're only temporarily embarrassed of losing. It's always really embarrassing to be on the losing side. But we have to be constructive in our criticism. Just how we criticize people who was unfairly criticizing President Weah, we too ourselves, when the shoe is on our foot, we have to do the things that we were advocating, the things that we were saying was wrong. We have to do the right thing. So when we want to criticize this government, let's be constructive, let's be intellectual, let's be empathetic, because our party was there before, and we were hoping people would be understanding in some of the the pitfalls of governance. So I think it's unfair to kind of write this government off so quickly. But any blind man from Waterside could see that 100-day deliverable in a country that is poor and is cash scrap, it's a pipe dream that you're going to sell to the people.
Ever's call back. While I'm waiting for Ever's call, let me just say this here about Aaron. Okay, he's calling back. Evers, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you hung up on me. Yeah, but even the budget now that we're talking, and all of the plans that the president has, even the plans that he will formulate in the future, is all contingent upon how much money is available, to actuate those plans. So if we don't have the money, like we didn't have the money on the president, we'll probably not have the money on the president boycott. Our problem is still going to persist. So for those of us who supported the CDC and now people who are supporting this president, we have to understand our problem is consistent throughout different administrations, and that is a lack of money, a lack of fund. But I don't want us to be too unfair to this government.
I will give him kudos, continuous kudos for at least taking forward step in establishing the War Crime Court. And if he continue on that path, I think overall his presidency would be a bright spot on the history of our country for bringing some justice to those victims who were victimized during the war. But
Thank you, Evans, for buttering my statement.
Thank you. Thank you. I will say this here, Mr. So, and I think we'll bring the show to an end here. But let me just say there about Aaron.
Josh, how were you talking about bringing show to an end? You just
Mr. So, the liberal is on the floor. I don't want to pack anybody. I don't want to put anybody in the back. That's what I mean. No, please let us don't go that route. But let me say this here about Aaron. Aaron is a very decent human being. Aaron Brapla is a very decent human being. But since the election, if you notice, I stay away from all jokes about calling him IE number 9 because I think he's very, very hurt. And you can detect that from just this is not the type of Aaron that we know. He usually come up here and try to talk without emotion. But even people call, so if people call President Wiani Aaron, do you have to speak as such? To say the way you speak about Mr. George. Of course, Mr. George can defend himself. So I'm not here to defend him, but to come out here to say he can't do this, he can't do that, this is on call for President Weah. It's a public figure. We can call his name anytime and mention his name in anything Liberia because he was once a leader. He was the father of the nation. But I think Aaron, if you guys remember this, after the election, Aaron stayed away from us for months to the point that we were asking Walter Carter as to whether Aaron was okay. And eventually he mustered the courage to call us. And I think he's still hurt. And so I'm going to try to stay away from the joke of calling IE number 9 or what have you, until I feel that he's ready to be back to himself and we can have that, crack that joke and carry on the conversation. But let me say this here, Mr. So. I want to say to my two colleagues, Mr. George and Dr. Mali, these are public forum when we're speaking. Let us try to stay away from certain words such as gun and all those kinds of stuff. We don't want to be mentioning guns here when we're talking about Liberian politics. You know the issue Liberia had, you know where we're coming from. So let's stay away from those language as well. I also want to say thank you, Mr. So, for carrying the process here tonight with your biased behavior, your conservative idea. You try here to silence me, to try to put Mali over my head tonight. And then here come walking Walter Carter, who will not come on the show unless you show up. Mr. George, from time to time, he likes a straight shot. But I think sometimes he goes on the other side. But I want to say this before I take complete control of the show from you. Let me hear what you have to say. Malice will be there. You allow Mali to speak first. He came last, and you allow him to speak first, and you allow him to speak second. You allow Malice more time on Dr. Malice. Let me say, Dr. Malice, sorry for calling him Malice. Dr. Malice on this show here. You allow him more time than you do with any of us. It is unacceptable. This is a liberal show. When I'm running it, it's a liberal show. He's not independent. What independent is that calling for capital punishment in Liberia? What kinds of independent mind is that? Mr. So, please give us something, and then I can take control of the show and try to wrap it up.
You're not taking control. I'm not going to do market web bamboo draw.
Okay. So I'm going to take control?
You're not taking control. Thank you for your final comment. I'm going to be going back to Dr. Jones.
For what? The other people ain't tell you. Walter Carter ain't tell you. Emma Joy ain't tell you. Dr. June just got through talking, and then you bring him back again?
Are you the legal defense team for Emma, George, and Keto now? What is it? What fish you get a fry in it?
Yeah, tonight I missed Terry and Bagas tonight. You know, you're not even saying nothing. Water not saying nothing. They just let Mr. So
now you know over my quiet. That now you know Keto, when you're supposed to send link to Keto will call, and you say, oh, Keto, you stay on the phone, and now you know Keto, you on your own.
Mr. So.
Yeah.
So I before I lose my train of thought, I was thinking about the present meeting engagement. Our government is here with the African whatever summit business summit they're on. And I would just like to caution Liberians, and retrospecting on the past. When we sit on these platforms and other Liberians who today are in government, they said terrible things about our country, terrible things that drove away investors, that question the integrity of our society. It has not even been too long. You come out to the same people that you told that our country is a no-go zone for business. Our country, the people dying every day, ritualistic killing, how you call it, killings, the extrajudicial killings, and all of the negative things that we put out there against our own country. Today, you come back to the same people to ask them or convince them so they can take their businesses to Liberia. You think people don't know what's been going on in Liberia? Allegedly, from what you told them, they know. They know. So I just hope and pray that something good come out of this meeting for Liberia. But it's bad. I don't care if how you don't like a person. Talk about the policy. Talk about the policy. If the person going the wrong way in policy, talk about it. But when you try to frame the country, especially the people, to the extent where the international community believe that you can't even wake up, you can't walk on the street 7 o'clock in Liberia, and the very people were in that club in Liberia up to 3 a.m. People today that sitting there.
Yes. We'll talk. I'm surprised at you tonight.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because for you to come out here and make these kind of ridiculous claims, it's surprising.
What makes it surprising? Okay, let me show you something here. Josiah Jockett is the CSA director, whoever. This man went to Nancy Pelosi office. As a matter of fact, when President Weah was elected, when they announced him leader, he said President Weah is not his leader. He went to Nancy Pelosi office where Emmer Nicole, or Duke, all those people, Yasini Martin, this will sanction Liberia because of corruption, because of $16 billion, because of this and because of that. That is Josiah Jockett today. They're pushing that.
It seems to me from your tone, it seems like you think it's like this sort of propaganda, these subliminal messages, all of them impacted President Weah wins over Boyka, do you think?
You mean President Boyka win over President Weah, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think it's a falsehood and wrong messages? Do you think that's
yes. I'm saying the false messages that people never hear.
They sanction these people. They sanction your people.
Where they got the information from? From Mr. Samson Toe, from Mr. George, and I will not put Mary Jones in it.
Am I part of here?
No, I'm not for you.
See, that one always let her put your foot in your.
Mr. Toe, you are disrupting Wharton Kettle.
On a serious note, I think we can talk the politics. Let's talk the politics and the issue instead of making false claims about our country. Because if you tell people that we are doing extrajudicial killing in Liberia, people are dying, the government stealing millions and billions of Liberian dollars and all these things, the international is going to pick it up because as we speak here today, people in the international community listening to us. They pick up these things. So why are we going back now? You see people say the country is safe for business right now. When it was just a few months ago that
because we're in charge. Because we're in charge. The
Okay, then
country
the
is
city.
safe
Okay,
now.
hold on now, Mr. To. We in charge, but let 2 days ballet to the same place. To the same place.
Okay.
I give up. I give up.
All right, guys. I think so quickly before we go, and then I can make your closing argument. Do you think this whole war crime something here, and we saw this sort of executive order coming in, president signing in? I'm wondering, was there some sort of precondition of him coming here? Uncle Sam has a way of communicating, has a way of putting strain on people. We saw the case of Nigeria president. He said, "Hey, you gotta get SYZ," and you came here, invited a line of guy here. He said, "Okay, well, you're here already. Oga, this is what you need to do when you want to meet, when you want to sit with the president at the White House." Do you think there's some sort of political pressure mounted on the government, the president, in order to open the arms of this government to meet people? Do you think that's part of it, this whole war crime? Knowing and coming from the background, the people like Dr. White and all of those folks that were involved, the ambassador to the United Nations, ambassador to the United Nations visiting Liberia and all of these foreign top diplomats and all of that. Do you think that was one of the gateway for which the president say, "Hey, we gotta let it go"?
Yes. All along, the diplomats closer to Monrovia, they have been pushing this thing. It's no strange thing to Liberia. And Honorable Boakwa bought into the message. He said he believed it, and he will go ahead. So he going ahead. But there's a package for that. Liberia, some kind of way will benefit directly. It's not for nothing.
Okay.
It's not for nothing. But I just wanted to say something about Aaron. You know, Aaron, sentiment will not help you. You get. I got a thick skin, boy. You put one. Some of you don't have thick skin. So Aaron, you can come and throw any words out there. It's up to you. The idea George Weah is no more president, and you should. The next thing you should realize, Aaron, George Weah served as president for 6 years. He is an unpopular figure, and if supporter of George Weah will mention something in the conversation that we're having, I have to write, or any other person have to write to respond. You may not like it, but that's the reality. Get sitting down right and say the president government lay off 40,000 people, and that way I came here. I said no.
Bill, why are you coming from with that kind of question?
So
we're gonna do what we're talking about.
So the issue here is, Aaron,
Oh God.
you're welcome. Anytime to come and make your point on this platform, you can call
So, Emma Joy, you know,
yeah.
we value our people coming here. Bill is asking a very strategic. Under which government did Emma Joy was a police officer? Was he a police officer?
No. So, any question finish? No. So the issue here is,
okay,
when Keta says that people created bad news for the government and investors do not go to Liberia. No. George Weah has 6 years. The U.S. State Department wrote these reports. They got people on the ground. Maybe maybe you don't understand. The U.S. State Department got political officers. They got military attaché in Liberia. They talk to people. And based on that, they compile the reports. Because your president, George Weah, could not run the country effectively, so now you don't want to shed blame on other people who was exercising their rights. If 4 auditors was killed, there's no proper investigation. 3 boys went in Bon County, they got missing today. We don't know the hair and tail. You carry matter goes to court, they bribe judges. And you said that we are the one that's selling that? George, we are supposed to prove to the people, no, this is the right thing I'm doing. So he failed to do it, so you don't blame us. And that's why the people send you people home. So Aaron,
wow,
you can go maybe in the next round to run as senator from Grand Gita. I will support you. Good night.
Jesus Christ. Dr. Jones?
Well, back to the issue of the war crime code. My only hope here is that I hope the Unity Party is calculating very well and is thinking through on the war crime code. While it's true that popular opinion show that it is necessary, but my major concern here is security. I don't want to have a war crime code only for the end result to show that we can't even walk on our streets at night. People hunting people while the international community is sleeping sound. I was just reading the Constitution. One of the major actors of the war crime thing, and will continue to always focus on, is Senator Prince Johnson. If Senator Prince Johnson stay in power and the war crime code take effect, there is a constitutional clause that protects him from being arrested. He cannot be arrested as a sitting senator.
For felony? For felony?
Come in now. You are arrested for felony after you leave power. The issue of the war crime code, that's why we keep talking about the definition and the direction we're going. They have not defined what are some of the things that happen in Liberia are felony. They have not defined, all we know they are human rights abuses. What are human rights abuses is being classified as felony? I don't know much about that.
But
whether it's being classified as overthrowing a government, I come in now, overthrowing a government, the whole thing has to be defined yet. But my major concern here is the issue of security. It's an issue of comprehensive package. At the end of this thing, what do we hope to achieve? That's my major concern right now. It is a good idea, but it's also a sensitive thing that need to be thought through very, very well.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think the Constitution stop holding people for genocide, because Liberia is a signature to the war, to the Geneva Convention.
We're going to leave it at.
So we have to look at the war genocide, what a senator can be.
Yeah, and we also have a governing constitution. We are not a banana republic, as other people call it. So our constitution has placed in this whole thing as well.
Yeah, and that one at the lawmaker, the boys in the code now, they have to go and draft the law.
Okay. Look, as usual,
that will be another argument another day, but it's a sensitive issue.
As usual, Dr. Jones, Amos George, the legendary good guy, what is he doing?
Yeah, my God.
What is the essence of this picture you're always showing?
That is the LPR-TV Masonic craft.
You see that? He's going to another crime. He's going to put another crime on us. Masonic craft. You see that?
Mr. So, you ain't give me a chance to give my closing.
No, you finish your closing. You finish.
No. Hold on. The man is speaking to me. I have to tell a man that the man finished.
I said I messed up George dropping on Mr. Toe tonight. He kept being forced all around the place. But that's all right.
Kessler, go ahead with your closing statement.
But before Kessler come in, see you, I had a question. Where is Mr. Barco and Terry? What they on sabbatical or what?
They see their own actually coming to us. So they stay on. The body are mad alone when they left me. Say we're not coming there, you on your
own. So you know, I'll try to just thank God Mr. George came back. You know, when you talk about the State Department got people representation on the ground, I guess he didn't follow the Tom Lanto whatever hearing that you had. They didn't go to Liberia. It was the Yasini, it was the Heron Costa, it was the Justina Taylor, it was all those people that were
Get
getting
my point.
it.
It we are
Hold
going
on,
to do the
I'm
right
coming
thing.
now.
Go
Hold
now.
on. It was those people from
The
the
police
opposition.
director.
Yeah, it was Mr. George there, right?
Yeah.
That was sitting down sending false
Yes.
information
Yes.
about people dropping on the street dying.
Yes.
Today, unfortunately, they are not even doing the same thing because we just saw 2 girls that got killed. One played for Lone Star, the female or soccer team, national soccer team, got killed and body was dropped right and across from a police station on the Japanese freeway. 3 or 4 weeks before that time, another girl was killed at the same location. But I hear you picking up phone to call State Department. I'm not hearing you raising the death, the extrajudicial killing on LPR. This is what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to do that. What I'm saying here is because we don't know who killed those people, so I can't
So
link it
then
to
why
government.
you want me coming? And why you want me coming? And,
No,
and
what I'm saying here, what you guys did, I hope.
So the 4 others that were not killed.
Oh, so you want to talk about the 4 auditors? So let's talk about the people that
Or the
have been
three
killed.
young
Let's
men
talk
that
about
got
the
missing.
police.
We are not going to run it.
Yeah, we're going that way. I'm just telling you, it's
We are
not good for
already.
our to do.
Okay. We're going to leave it there.
Anybody that lost a life is important to me.
And when the police go kill people for nothing,
So-
it's extrajudicial killing. They should be.
Okay, gentlemen, the time has caught up with me
Well,
this evening.
that is a yardstick that you want to use to justify the we are regime, but it will not hold.
Why will not hold? Police go and kill people, a peaceful protester.
Police did not kill people. Go and read the report.
Oh,
if you
but
if you
read
say
the
that,
report.
let me
Let me tell you something.
Did you
read the report about the
let me tell you something.
No, read the report about Gift the Lama.
Hold on.
How she died.
Hold on.
No, don't tell me hold on. You
What your
hold
question?
on.
What your question?
Hold on there. Give
What
the
your
Lama
question?
report. So we're talking about report.
Okay, guys.
Report.
So yeah, what
Read
we're
the
going to
report
do?
about Gift the Lama.
Captain, hold on 1 second. Demon Joyce. It's 10:08. We want to leave it
No,
there.
I just want to tell you, Mr. So if people go and break 2 barriers, if I get gone and there are 3 barrels, you break between the barrels, I will shoot you.
You see the old police man? You see the old police officer?
We just say, but I'm sure.
No, don't say so, Samson. That's not in a bad word.
Okay,
But this
guys.
man want to paint this man want to paint a brush.
So,
it's not right.
So what a beautiful show you have today. Thank you so much.
You must come by and
Well,
talk about police.
this is why you get people who value people's civil liberties.
Yes.
You don't hold people breath. That in itself is almost literally it's murdering. It's telling somebody not to take in breath.
So that Mr. Stone, now you're referring to that he be denied Kete.
Of course.
This is how you start trouble.
You sent my voice.
No.
You sent my voice.
I just signed Kete. Samson got his phone. If you say his phone is dying or dead, you can't force him.
Do you see what I'm talking about? Yeah. You see how he jumped him, and then you will call me after the show. Mr. Tro, I see you. Yeah, have a good day.
Yeah. The liberal, I guess you closed already, right?
Oh my God.
No, I'm getting ready to close. Thank you.
All right. Okay, guys, we'll be back here but why you keep putting this? Is that a woman bag on the table there or what?
Yeah.
So what are you asking? What are you trying to imply it, Mr. So?
I'm asking, look like a woman bag. Why are you moving? Oh, you see, the handle there.
We're in the people dining room, living room.
So somebody mistakenly left the bag to you guys?
I don't know. So the question asking you should answer it. So you want to say that one of had a bag there?
The bag said it's facing you directly. You can see it.
Okay, maybe you saw me with a bag there.
It pointed at you. So
okay, the bag out of my bag.
Good night, Mr. So, Mr. George. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, bro.
Again, folks, Samson told Liberian Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again for this wonderful, wonderful show. We will say good night to all of you. We'll meet back here again on Mr. So Show tomorrow. And And we'll be back here again tomorrow on Mr. Social, and we'll have some wonderful conversation as well. Thank you very much, and we'll say good night to all of you. Good night, folks.
Yes, I make it so. Mansaru Basam, Manusu. Zio, get me by to it. How dear Nana Sierra, my menu. There was some. Gonna walk a rare. Nepi your hand, dear blue. How dear Nana Sierra, I do. Sazo mega ye blanco babi so waka kama mapenyo consider Magam ya wadana ye to dogins kewe okay no sugu kuwe boy see how mamen good okay no sugu no man away ya we so this kewe okay no sugu kuwe boy see how okay no sugu tomorrow you know I woke up on a boy. My way, I am only the one who took a one to come back to you. My way, so it's a way. Yeah, quite more, one who are gonna